What's up, YouTube? First and foremost, shout out to Alien Army. Raise up, stand up, hit a like, and definitely drop a comment. If you don't know what Alien Army is, that's people who rock with me heavy. They're my, they subscribe to me and they always drop a comment. I understand if this is one of your first times watching my videos, or you just don't know what to put as a comment, right? Put a thumbs up, put an alien ship. Comments and likes really do help out a small channel like mine. I understand that when you go ahead and see a video you like, by hitting the like button, YouTube algorithm will show you that stuff. But a lot of people, if you drop a comment on, because their channels are really big, they don't ever respond. They don't care about your statement, your question, or whatever you put down. Me, I rock with it. 99.9% of my comments I respond to. So that's why I asked for you to do that, and rock with me. I don't even drop comments on channels unless they actually do that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are actually nice enough to say, hey, drop a comment in the first 30 minutes that I drop a video, or an hour, and I'll respond to you, or small channels. I like rocking with them. Even if I get really, really big, I'll still rock with it like that. I got a system already down for it. Nonetheless, I'm gonna jump into today's video. Homeless update. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I am homeless. I do live in my car. I do have videos explaining the whole thing, right? I have a lot of videos on here on YouTube that probably could answer some of your questions, but if you want to ask again, this is no problem, right? So, homeless update. I gotta throw this in too. So the other day I was actually supposed to record one and then and throw it on there. Didn't really get a chance to do it. That's definitely my bad. And then Alien Army member, but I find it funny because I'm the same way, man. The Alien Army man member threw a comment, and he's like, hey, I'm still waiting for that video, and it's 2 days later. First and foremost, thank you all for your patience. Number two, I'm the same way. I actually take a personal interest, like, into TV shows and into YouTube videos, even people who do TikTok. I don't really post on TikTok, but I do watch some of the stuff on there. But like, I'm gonna give you some examples on that. Like, so there was a show called, there's two shows with the same name. I think one's called Colony and the other one's The Colony. Now, both of them just ended abruptly. Like, one of them was a survival, realistic, reality show where they were supposed to come out with a season 3. There was all these teasing stuff. There was all this stuff on the forums. They never did it, right? The other one was an alien show, and I believe that one was called The Colony. Excuse me, called The Colony, and that one like started getting really good at the end of season 2, and then just dropped off, and maybe their rankings weren't high enough or whatever. For whatever reason, they stopped, and I can't stand it. I can't stand when a story doesn't get finished, especially when I'm interested. Another analogy for that is let's say you're reading a book, and then before you find out that Voldemort, like, say it's like, something like Harry Potter or whatever, before Voldemort shows up, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't sell enough books, or the books don't have high enough interest, so now we stopped. Well, what about everybody that was interested, and then at that point, they didn't get to see that? I would like to let everybody know that I will never just abruptly stop YouTube. I will, actually, moving forward, I'm going to be dropping a lot of content, moving forward, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, I'm not going to let you guys hang for too long. I know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just going to disappear and you're going to be like, man, whatever happened to Alien, man, I rocked with him tough. Or I'm not sure about rocking with him because what if he leaves? I understand that stuff. It's okay to rock with me, because that's not going to happen, because I don't like when that happens to me, all right? So, I'm going to be talking about my updates. First and foremost, still in Midwest. Basically, didn't make enough money to go ahead and roll out. I did blow my drive tire. Driver side, front side driver side tire. Blew that on the freeway, and I had to replace that, and replacing one meant I had to replace the next. My two back tires are fine. So when I got new tires, evidently they're like, these two to the front will be okay for a little bit, and then we'll put the new ones on your back. And I told them specifically, no, throw the new ones, the new ones on the front, and then move them to the back. And I guess I got lost in, everything happening and moving too fast, or them telling me that that's what they did. I thought, okay, it's not going to be a big deal. However, it was a big deal because I didn't want those tires in the front. So I always inspect my tires, stuff like that, but you can't really always see behind it. I knew that they weren't the best. Did I think that I was going to have a blowout or anything like that? No, but running them, anything could happen at any time, you know what I'm saying? So blew a tire, and that cost me quite a bit. So that was definitely a major setback. Before that actually happened, I actually got pulled over on the highway. I'm going to tell you about this story. So I'm on the highway, and you know how in the center dividers, cops and state troopers, or chase vehicles, basically a cop. It doesn't matter if they're a state trooper, they're a statey, if they're a deputy, if they're a sheriff, if they're a chip, highway patrol, whatever. It was a cop. I don't remember what branch, but they're a cop. They're hanging out in the center divider, and before I even get there, even when I know where I'm going, I keep Google Maps playing. And so even if I know I'm going somewhere that's not very far, I have Google Maps, because it's going to tell me about real-time traffic reports and stuff like that. It'll also tell me about speed traps. So I knew there was a speed trap over a half a mile away from me at the time, and while I'm driving, I already know that. So it's a 70-mile-an-hour freeway. I dropped to 62 to 63. I have vehicles that were passing me. They were even passing me and then seeing where the cop was and slamming their brakes and jumping right in front of me. Why? Because they don't want to look like they're going faster than what they are, but the truth is they actually are going past the speed limit. But I'm not an idiot. I know that they were there. Google Maps, and more importantly, it doesn't take much to see where they hang out if you've been a truck driver or you've been driving the highways long enough, especially if you've been around the area for a while. There's some that will hide in bushes and stuff like that, or maybe you were I don't know, not paying attention and got caught lacking. I really do pay attention when I drive. So I see that, and as soon as I pass that cop, of course I glance in my mirror, not my rear view, but my side mirror. And when I glance in my side mirror, I see the cop, the brake lights light up. That is how you know if they're going to move in front of you. I'm just telling you from my standpoint. So from my standpoint, if their car is not running and they start it up, they're going to put their foot on the gas. If their car is running, they still got to put their foot on the gas because they got to throw it in the gear. I saw a light up. I know it's for me. Stupid cop. Well, I shouldn't be that derogatory. The cop jumps in there, and I still have people passing me. I suspect when I'm looking in the rearview mirror, because it was a blacked out Charger, is what it was. So I see it behind me, and I'm still doing about the same speed limit, 62, 63, and I even have cars passing that Charger or Challenger. I get them mixed up a little bit, but I think it actually was a Challenger, now that I think about it. But I could be wrong. And cars are passing the cop car, and yeah, jumping ahead. And stuff like that. So when we passed everything, I actually had a semi in front of me, and the semi, hit their brakes pretty hard and then slowed down. So for a moment, I was following too close, but I backed off instantly. I went ahead and I passed that semi, and I was at that point doing 65, and then I had that cop going behind me for about like I said, 5 miles, and that cop had plenty of time to jump in the left lane and actually shoot ahead of me. You know what I mean? It never did. I saw it slowing down. I saw it not getting close. I saw points it getting close to me, and the cop car lights me up. Goes ahead and lights me up. I pull over to the shoulder. When I go ahead and do that, it was a female officer. She comes over to the passenger side. I rolled both windows down. The first thing she says, "Can you roll up your driver's side so I can hear you?" I said, "Yeah." She looks at my passenger seat, and I had a couple empty bottles of Gatorade, water jug, and some Diet Coke, and I had some regular Gatorades I hadn't opened yet. Just basic stuff. Well, I'm driving and grab easily, and when I go ahead and put the empty bottles there, I would put them, in a throw them in the trash when I have a moment. Nothing nasty, but just a couple of Gatorade bottles, and not Diet Coke, but Coke Zero, and then a jug of water, right? And then of course some bananas and some snacks that I can grab on. So she looked at it and she's like, "Yeah." So I forget what the first thing she said, but I do remember what I first said, and I was like, I went ahead and she's like, oh, that's what she said first: driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance. I said, okay. I said, and she said, "Do I have any weapons in the vehicle?" That kind of crap. Yeah. So I talked to her about that for a second. No weapons, but I do carry a pocket knife in my pocket most times. At this particular time, I did. I told her, she's like, "Where's the pocket knife at?" "Right pocket." She's like, "Okay." Then she asked us for registration, license, and proof of insurance. I said, I'm going to undo my seatbelt to show you my license. She said, okay. I said, it'll all make sense once you see my license. And then she says, what does that mean? And I said, wait till you see my license. She's like, okay. Show her my license, and of course, it's if you don't know me, I do have a Class A truck driver license, and I've had it for quite some time. I did truck driving for you know, a few years and everything else. That was to indicate why I have my drinks right here and why I had a little bit of a mess. That was all, you know. And that, and you know, that you would know that, you know, I know how to obey the laws on the you know, the highway. I'm a professional truck driver. Whether I drive trucks right now or not, I'm still held to that standard. You know, if I don't drink, but if I was to drink, let's say it's your alcohol level cannot be over 0.08, right? Mine would be cut in half. It'd be 0.04. Whatever the state minimum is, mine's cut in half because I'm still held in that standard. Also, things like I think driving over 10 miles an hour in your personal vehicle will also reflect what happens on your commercial driver's license. So there's a lot of stuff that goes back and forth, and laws change all the time. For all I know, it could be 5 miles now. Maybe it's 15, but nonetheless. So she's like, what's this supposed to mean? I go, just my drinks that are right there, and my car being a little bit dirty. She's like, oh, okay. Gets me out of the, well, for that, I didn't give her the registration, and I told her, insurance is going to take a second, I got to pull off on the cell phone. Is that okay? She says, yeah. She says she wants me out the vehicle, and I'm like, she's like, get out of the vehicle, leave your pocket knife in the car, and come back over here. And I said, I really don't want to leave the car. And then she's like, no, I need you to step out of the vehicle. This is a lawful order. So she used the words lawful order. I take my knife, I put it in the center console, I step all the way out. When I go ahead and step all the way out, she says, put my hands on the hood of her vehicle. Put my hands on the vehicle, she's going to search me. She searches me, and I did not want her to search me. I said, I don't want to be searched. Like, what are you doing? She's like, this is for officer safety. This is a lawful order. Goes in and does that, and she searches me. Then after she searches me, she's like, yeah, get in the passenger side. I'm just going to write you a warning. No, she says, get in the passenger side. And I said, I've been driving for a bit. I don't really feel comfortable getting in your car. In fact, I'm actually nervous. I said, I don't like being touched by people. And like, I'm trying to think of how I said it, because I was in the moment. I was like, why is this all necessary? Like, what's going on here? And I should back it up. Which she did tell me why she pulled me over, now that I'm thinking about it. Hopefully you guys are following along. She couldn't see what state my tag was in, is why she said she pulled me over. So, I'm like, all right. I don't know, maybe I got some mud splashed on my back of the license plate that I didn't notice. Maybe some brake dust flew back there, whatever, right? But she tells me she wants me to sit in their passenger side, and when I tell her, like, I have anxiety, I don't like being near people, she's like, well, you have nothing to worry about. It's just going to be a warning. So when she says that, what I'm thinking in my head is that if I become really difficult and tell her, like, I don't want to get in your fucking cop car, lady. I don't like you searching me, lady. I don't like you touching me. I don't like you sticking your fucking face in my fucking car and pulling me over for fucking nothing, you know, all that good stuff, you know, like, you are inconveniencing me, you know? And more than inconveniencing, like, I didn't do nothing for you to do that. But if you snoop hard enough, you'll notice that I got a crack in my front windshield. And as far as I'm concerned, it's not all the way through, so it's legal. But could you go ahead and try to write me a ticket on it? Probably. You know, like, I could get an attitude ticket, is what I'm saying. But I don't like all this stuff, so I don't want her snooping more. You know, I'm not giving up the goods and, like, you know, talking like, you know, like I'm scared and stuff. Like, all right, I guess all you're gonna do is give me a warning. You want me to sit in here because we're on the side of a highway? Okay, sure. So I'm sitting there, and she's running my plates. She's like, you got issued 2 plates. Where's your second one? I go, in the front. Is there, you know, what happened to, you know, because I'm not originally from the Midwest. You know, how come your car's showing that you bought it out of the state? Because I'm originally from that state. You know, stupid stuff. You know, like, and she's got this shit-eating fucking look on her face, big old smile, hoping that she could trip me up on something. You know, I'm very, very standoffish. You know, like, when you're a stranger, especially in person. I know you guys could, you know, relate, right? You know, at least I hope you can. But nonetheless, she's asking that stuff, and I'm giving her small answers, and she's like, oh, did you like it in the state that you grew up? I go, clearly not, because I live here now. you know. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're a truck driver. How long have you been driving trucks for? My license shows it, you know. I don't know. I remember what year I went to trucking school. Oh, you had to go to trucking school? Yeah, they don't just hand you this license. This isn't that long ago, you know. Like, we're federally regulated here, lady. She's not pretty at all, and I did not like her touching me like that. You know, I'm gonna go on a little rant here, so you guys might find a laugh in this. She's not ugly, but not pretty. You know, I'll give you my stance on cops real quick. Would I ever date or marry a woman that was a cop? Absolutely not. Would I ever date or marry a woman that was a correctional officer? Absolutely not. Would I ever date or marry a gang member? Absolutely not. So if you ask yourself, if I wouldn't date a gang member and marry her and have children with her and shit like that, why would I do it? Why would I do that with a correctional officer or a cop? Because as far as I'm concerned, they are gang members. You know, I'm just going to tell you, you know, that's my sense of it. If you're not up to anything bad and you're not corrupt, you still will show a blind shoulder to those that are. And there's a lot of them out there in the law enforcement stuff. I understand that there is a need for law enforcement. I understand that there's some things that you need to call them for and stuff like that. But pulling me over because maybe I fit a racial profile, you know. I didn't have my hat on. I got a shaved head. I was wearing a black tank top at the time. You know, I'm you know, I'm comfortable in my car when I'm driving at that moment. When I go ahead and go somewhere, like if I have to go inside a store or I got to use the gas or something like that, I'm gonna throw a shirt on, man. You know, but while I'm in here, I'm gonna be comfortable. It's freaking hot and it's humid, and you know, if just because it might be raining outside, let's say it was raining outside, well, I could have, you know, I'm nice and dry in here. It could be raining and hot and humid outside, and then I have a nice control. Like, I can control the climate in my car is what I'm saying. But she's like, hey, so it looks like your registration and your license and your tag expired last year. And I go, no, I have a 2-year tag and I have a 2-year license, and my registration shows that. You know, 2 years, 2-year registration, 2 years tag, and you know, whatnot. She's like, oh, okay. Well, can you see why I pulled you over? Because I can't see what state that is. And I'm like, you're looking at the tag right in the middle of my license plate, right? She's like, yeah. I go, I don't see dirt covering it. She's like, no, but can you read the state? And I go, as far as I understand, they're color coordinated to whatever state that you got it in. I go, can I actually tell you where the abbreviation is on that tag? No, but I can tell you that nothing on my end is obstructing it. Like, this is, there's no dirt, there's nothing, no license plate stickers, there's, you know, nothing like that. I go, I thought you guys have tag readers anyways. She's like, yeah, but I was looking in my eyes and I couldn't see it. You know, and I just want to let you know that I'm just giving you a warning. She looks all that crap up, and it's absolutely annoying the shit out of me, to tell you the truth. I don't know why a cop would think that anybody is okay with sitting in their front of their you know, seat, and like, I don't understand why you would think that, like, I'd be comfortable telling you my life story. Like, did I lie to the cop? Yeah. I'm not a truck driver at the moment, but my license still is. When she asked me, you know, am I from this area and blah, 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 yes, I am. You know what I mean? But the truth of the matter is could I be honest and be like, you know, I'm homeless and I'm living in my car and that's why my car's messed up and blah, blah, blah. No, because that's leading into my private stuff, and I don't really want you to know about that stuff. And it's not because you're a cop I don't want you to know. I don't want people, you know, if you were some nosy person when I'm pumping gas, like, hey, why do you got some blankets that are tucked into your seat right here? You know, why are you doing that? It's none of your damn business. And I do not like people trying to exert their authority. 1 second. Sorry for that quick transition. I did watch my video that I just did for the edit. I had some stuff going on. I had a phone call. Nonetheless, I did say, you know, just want to do quick corrections. So, I was talking about the brake lights in the beginning. The brake lights are not when you put it, you know, you're already in drive. It's when you're out of gear, so you're in park, and then you go ahead and press the brakes instead of the gas. Hit the brakes, then you switch gear, then you accelerate by hitting the gas. Do want to finish the stuff that I said about the cop, you know, in a more clearer, space after I watched my little rant. I understand that there's cops that really do help in a lot of stuff. However, as far as I'm concerned, they're all gang members, and I'm gonna stand by it. I'm not backpedaling at all. You are a gang member when you look at stuff, when you have authority, and you can go ahead and stop something from happening. So if you're not a corrupt cop, you're not somebody who's taking out a bad day on an individual, you'll step in and do that stuff. If you still give a blind eye to the person who's doing that, as far as I'm concerned, that's corrupt. So let's say, for example, cops are paying $1 million a day, or correctional officers are paying $1 million a day, but you have to work for them for 1 day or a year. It wouldn't matter as far as I'm concerned. If it was $1 million an hour to be a cop, or $1 million an hour to be a correctional officer, how I see things, I wouldn't do it. It's the same thing with trucking, and I want to talk about this for a moment. I never broke the rules completely. I mean, I never broke the rules where, like, I was cheating on people. I wasn't breaking the rules where I was putting public safety at at risk. There's a lot of truck drivers that were doing that, and when they were doing that, if I was told you get paid, it wouldn't matter what I got paid, because I'm going to do the right thing with or without somebody looking, and that's my point. So, like, as far as cops and stuff like that, yeah, there's no hatred towards it, but even if you weren't a cop, if you were a total stranger, I don't want to sit in your car. I don't want you to search me. I don't want to be touched. And I've been searched by guy cops who've touched me, and I swear to God, this probably isn't the video for this, but I'm going to tell you it right now. I remember one Super Bowl Sunday, I was just going to the store to buy some damn sodas, and that's all I wanted was a couple of 2 liters and some sodas, drink that and eat my nachos, and I got searched, and I got touched in ways where, like, Jesus Christ, I know you're not straight. I know you're not straight, because you would never touch a man between their legs like that. I ain't got nothing hiding. I ain't got nothing hiding like that, dude. You're gonna grab my shit like that, dude? No, dude, you're not fucking straight. I don't fucking like that, and I don't play that stuff, and it is very hard for me to deal with anybody like that. And worse than all that stuff, I'm trying to back up because I'm not trying to lose my temper here. There's a lot of people out there that probably have better level heads than me, that don't possibly have some kind of stuff going on with them. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, but I've been on the streets for quite some time, living in my car. What I'm trying to convey is that I don't like being touched like that. I don't think anybody likes being touched by a stranger, whether you're a man or a female. Yeah, I'd rather a female touch me than a man, of course, because I'm a dude, but I still don't like being touched. I don't like it. You gotta be a dear friend. You gotta be a dear family for me to give you a hug, embrace you. And when you act stupid and you want to touch me and you think that not everybody's on the same wavelength. Like, oh, I'm just gonna give you some written stuff. And you know what she told me to? When she's like, why were you falling? Like, she barely mentioned it. Why were you falling so close to that semi? I said he slammed on his brakes, so I slammed on mine too. Okay, I'm glad you illustrated that. Because of that, I'm not going to give you a warning. A couple days ago, I went and took a look at that because I was trying to find out who the hell pulled me over, and I'm gonna look it up and all that crap. When I was doing all that stuff, guess what? In the cop car, on her camera and on her dash cam and all that stuff. That's another thing too. I have my Garmin. My Garmin is my navigation system. It's a standalone system. I had that in my front windshield. I do have dual cameras on it that record forward and backwards, and it's 1080p as far as I understand, and it's voice activated. I think that's why she wanted to pull me out over there. I don't have to tell anybody that's being recorded. It's not like I'm holding a camera to your face, like, haha. And I commend, I commemorate the First Amendment people and the Fourth Amendment people where they're doing that. It doesn't work out like that most of the time. You might have the time to go ahead and tell somebody, like, I'm doing a FOIA report, Freedom of Information Act. I have a good attorney and blah, blah, blah. When you get pulled over and you might have a slight crack on your windshield, or you really don't want somebody touching your stuff. And what I mean by touching, for all I know, they could have the flu, right? Something simple. They could be running noses and touching their freaking fingers, and they're touching my clothes, and then a week later I put that shit on, it's a shirt, it's underwear, and then I'm getting sick. I don't want to deal with it, man. I don't want to get sick from it. I also don't like people opposing their authority, So, I probably shouldn't ramble on much more. But I got other points to talk about, right? Yep. I talked about my blown tire, talked about the cop pulling me out. I did see a therapist. So, I had a friend who was able to orchestrate a few things. And orchestrating those few things is literally a therapist. So I went ahead and saw the therapist. I told them, if I see a therapist, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm going to talk how I normally talk. I'm not going to think about the camera in front of me. And I mean, I'm always honest and genuine anyways, with the camera being on me. But I was going to be honest to talk about it. So this particular therapist, type psychiatrist, if you want to call it that, they deal with, and I learned this afterwards, so I'm going to go backwards a little bit. They deal with stage 3 people. That's people that are willing to hurt themselves. That's people that are willing to hurt other people. And I don't fall in that category. However, I was honest about a lot of the questions, and a lot of the questions weren't just like, here's the question. They wanted an example. In this situation, what would you do? In this situation, what do you think? In this situation, how do you feel? So that really opened up the doors for interpretation, but I was going to be open to all that. And I think that is more of a broader version, because if you had a question like, do you ever feel like hitting somebody? Absolutely. Okay. But if you said, have you ever found yourself in a situation where you wanted to hit somebody, but you didn't because you felt wrong, or you weren't, you weren't going to do it? However the questions land up, I went in and answered everything honestly. That's what, I know that this is probably like my 3rd clip right now, so it's going to be a little bit long. I answered everything because I'm not stage 3, which would be somebody who's incognitive is the word, and then because I'm not willing to hurt myself or hurt others, like I don't have those kind of feelings. However, the person did find, or he thinks that I might have PTSD. I have high anxiety and anxiousness. That was very prevalent. And then on top of that, high traumatic events. But he thinks that I might have PTSD, high anxiousness or anxiety, and then severe trauma events. And that was just from that meeting. And I'm not going to placate it. It was like a small little meeting of 5 minutes and blah, blah, blah. No, we were in there for like 3 or 4 hours. 3 or 4 hours talking about everything. And at the very end, he's like, I think that you might want to go ahead and see the council with this and blah, blah, blah. We only take people that are stage 3. Stage 3 is let's say that you are so depressed that there's a bathroom next to you and you still can't get into it. But I'm homeless, but through my actions, I have proved if I am homeless and I need a shower, if I can't take a shower at my friend's houses, I'm going to find a gym. If I can't find a gym, then I'm using a water fountain. I'm somebody who's trying to clean themselves up. You know what I mean? And we talked about this stuff in at great length. I can hide how I feel. And what I'm talking about is I may be mad enough, like I might not look sad, but I feel really sad. I don't want people to know that I'm feeling sad. I'm trying to it's so sad to me that all I'm trying to do is find an escape where I can go ahead and get out of the sadness and, you know, like prevail. I know that if I'm really dirty or I want to shower, and there's a shower for me, no matter how I feel, I'm still going to have to walk through that door. But we talked about all the feelings before walking that door, the door, and then, you know, by doing that, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll make more videos about this. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. So I do have some new plans. So that's what I'm going to talk about right now. The new plans is I'm having a hard time putting the daily homeless videos together where, like, you know, you're homeless, you know, how do you survive, homeless living in a car tour, you know, homeless this and homeless that. I still want to put those videos out, but it looks like that I need to put out between 2 to 3 shorts a day, and I need to put 2 uploads to YouTube. I'm monetized, but I've not received any money. I think I got $30 or $40, and I can't cash out till I got 100. But that's not the point. I'm just telling you that I haven't done that. But to grow my audience, what it looks like is I need to do those things. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm struggling with right now. I'm struggling talking about my homelessness. I'm struggling telling you I didn't make enough money to leave this market and go somewhere else. I'm struggling telling you guys that you know, at the end of June, my registration and my tags are due on my vehicle, and I'm going to be frankly, you know, I don't know what I'm saying, frankly telling you that if my vehicle is not registered for the streets, you know, to do gig apps and stuff like that, the only thing I could do is sell my car, and then I'm going to be homeless, and I'm going to be living in the streets and riding a bike. You know, that's what it feels like, and that's what it seems like, right? I'm trying not to talk with all my hands, but I do feel very emotional, you know, and I do feel very animated. So my hands are moving a lot, my arms are moving a lot, my shoulders are moving a lot, so I'm thinking about putting some of the stuff up that you know, if I was an artist and I could draw really nice and show a picture, then I would add that to my content. I'm not a good artist. I do have some artwork stuff, but I'm not good at all. Like, I'm bad, really bad. People that can do that, they're born with it, and they probably develop it afterwards. I've always been bad, and I've studied to do it. But I'm talking about, you know, free speech poetry. I'm talking about rap. I'm talking about, you know, spoken word poetry. I'm talking about, you know, reacting to channels that give me inspiration. Like, in particular, there's a channel that this dude who barely got out of prison, and barely got out of prison over 20, I think it was 24 years for a law that just got passed. And this is this person's second chance. I want to respond to things that motivate me. I want to make content, you know, and instead of, you know, putting it on different channels, I'm barely at, you know, 1,500, I think, 1,500 subscribers. What would happen if I threw a bunch of content on there? You know, here are my YouTube shorts. This is spoken word. This is homeless poetry. You know, here's homeless motivation. This is homeless dancing. I can break dance. You know, like, you know, this is homeless comedy. This is some of the jokes I've been working on. You know, this is, you know, how I see relationships actually evolving in America because of X, Y, and Z. You know, and I'm trying to, you know, like when writing down on my piece of papers and stuff like that, like finding avenues of stuff that I can talk about, even when I don't want to share the homeless. And I would still do the same content I'm doing now, but I want to add in a lot more. And if you're Alien Army, I guarantee you that you'd be happy seeing me more often. And if you're not, then that's cool. Let the views reflect. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to evolve everything, right? Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. That seems about all of it. I'm gonna have to edit all this stuff and then I'm gonna upload it. But I want to thank everybody. If you want to donate, right? And I always put this in. Maybe if I was smart, I'd put it in the beginning. But I was getting accused that I was begging and everything else. But if you want to donate, if you want to show love, if you want to bless me, my Cash App is the same as my YouTube, AlienAscend. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the description. And I always end my my videos with thank you so much.